With the Denver Nuggets firing their head coach Mike Malone just 4 games before the season ends, this ties Hubie Brown in 1980 to 81 as the latest coaching change in NBA history. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. And we have a lot of information to unpack, a lot of stuff to talk about today as the Denver Nuggets are going in a weird direction here. But yeah, before we get into everything, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, do that stuff. It helps me out so much. Like I say, every single video, y'all been blowing up the videos recently, so I appreciate that hella. And now let's get into it. So before we get into the Mike Malone stuff, I also think it's good to mention that their GM, Calvin Booth, was also fired right after, I guess, Mike Malone got fired. So that's something to note. And Chris Haynes actually gives us the main reason why Booth got fired, and it says, Denver Nuggets and Calvin Booth failed to reach terms on an extension that both parties felt was satisfactory before the 2024-2025 season got underway. Sources tell me Booth, instrumental in helping the franchise capture a title in 2023, was on an expiring contract, and I guess firing your GM is not as bad as firing your head coach right before the playoffs, even though it is still kind of weird because there's 4 games left in the season. The GM doesn't really have that big of a job to do right now at this point of the season, and he was probably not going to be here next season anyway, so, you know, him being fired is not that big of a shock, right? But Mike Malone is kind of a shock for a lot of people and for me. And now after the firing, the Nuggets just have a 9% chance on Polymarket Sports to win the Western Conference. I know it's just odds, but it's something to note because look at that graph. They dropped so much. And just after one head coach being fired, that says a lot. And I came up to a few conclusions on why the Nuggets would fire Mike Malone. But first, if any of you guys are wondering, the new coach or the new interim head coach will be their assistant, David Adelman. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with him. I'm not too familiar with him, but let me know in the comments if you guys think he's a good coach or not. We'll have to see, I guess. But yeah, he's the new head coach as of now. And obviously right now, in the point of what I know and what everybody else in the media knows, we don't really know exactly why they fired Mike Malone, but we can kind of just hypothesize and use the information that we got as hints to try to make a conclusion off that. So that's basically what I did here. And first, we're going to look over the statement that the Nuggets owner basically released to that press and to everybody else. So let's go over that right now. As shout out to Chris Haynes for basically helping everybody figure out what's kind of going on here. As he releases, Denver Nuggets owner Josh Kroenke, I think, says, while the timing of this decision is unfortunate, as Coach Malone helped build the foundation of our now championship level program, it is a necessary step to allow us to compete at the highest level right now. Championship level standards and expectations remain in place for the current season, and as we look to the future, we look forward to building on the foundations laid by Coach Malone over his record-breaking 10-year career in Denver. And this is basically PR trained. I mean, he's not going to say anything bad about Malone. He's not going to say the real reason, but I feel like it's just nice to dissect and basically see what the owner says because, you know, he's the owner. So, I mean, just hearing what he says is interesting to know. And basically his whole message to his team is to play hard and have fun. I mean, I don't really know how encouraging those words are for your team because, you know, playing hard and have fun kind of seems like something you would say to your 6th grade AAU team or 6th grade CYO team, church league team. So I don't really know how the Nuggets team feels about this, but obviously they probably don't even care. They just care about winning games, and they probably can care less about their owner. And now for the reasons why I think Mike Malone got fired. First, we're going to go over a tweet by Bobby Marks, who has a good reputation in the sports media industry. And let's kind of just read what he has to say, and this is going to basically develop what my claim is. So Marks says, I promised that the word shocking would be removed from my vocabulary post-Luka, but this one is a stunner. Denver's 11-13 post-All-Star break, but has seen Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray miss significant time in March/April. Their defense has fallen off a cliff, though, and they could easily be the 4 seed or the 7/8 seed and be in the play-in game next Tuesday. And the reason why I think this tweet is important is because Mark did bring up how the Nuggets are 11-13 past the All-Star break, which could be a reason why Mike Malone got fired. But also he did say that Jokic and Murray have been missing a lot of time since then, so it wouldn't really make too much sense to fire him too at the same time. But I feel like that is a big reason why he did get fired. And also, their defense has been playing much worse since the All-Star break, so that's also a good reason. And I feel like what Bobby Marks brought up, saying that they could either be the 4 seed or the 7/8 seed coming to the playoffs or play-in time, that's also important because the West is so tightly packed right now that the Nuggets cannot afford to be losing the games that they are losing recently. As if you look right now, currently in the standings, there are about 5 teams that have exactly 32 losses, and they're all within a half a game of each other. And if you see in the far right, the Nuggets are in a 4-game losing streak. That's the most out of all these teams. They can't be doing that. They can't be losing these games at this part of the season because the Nuggets could easily go from a 3 seed that they were just not that long ago to the 8th seed. So maybe the Nuggets front office thought this was the reason why they needed to fire Mike Malone because they were losing 4 games in a row and they might drop to the 8th seed, and that could ruin their chances of winning the Western Conference. So maybe that is a reason why Mike Malone got fired. And another reason why Mike Malone got fired could be because of Nikola Jokic, if you ever thought about it. Look at his last 6 games. These are insane numbers. And if you look at these stats front up, you'd probably think, oh yeah, the Nuggets probably won all these games, right? The Nuggets did not win all these games. As a matter of fact, these are his last 6 games, and he's lost the last 4 of them. And if you look at the last 6 games, I guess, on their schedule, the Nuggets lost 4 straight, right? And one of them was to San Antonio, which is a horrible loss because none of the Spurs stars are playing. Then another one of their wins was against Utah, and the other one was against Milwaukee. But, I mean, Utah doesn't really count if we be real. So you got to think about it. You had a bad loss to San Antonio, and you beat the Bucks. That was your best thing. But besides that, Jokic has been putting up MVP, one of the best seasons of all time, and they're losing games like this. That's unacceptable. And I know Jamal Murray has missed a good chunk of these games, but still, man, you can't be losing to the Spurs. You can't be having Jokic do everything he possibly can and still be losing the games. And I feel like at some point, you got to put some blame on Mike Malone. Obviously, not all of it's on him because the players still need to come and execute during the game. But a major reason why Mike Malone probably got fired is because Jokic is putting up these insane, historic numbers, and they're losing games, which is going to cause Jokic an MVP, in my opinion, because I think Shea's going to win it this year. And Jokic losing games is going to hurt his resume or hurt his chance to win MVP this year. So, maybe Jokic is like, this guy is not coaching well. He's going to cost me an MVP. Get him out of here. Get him fired. Jokic could possibly be the reason why Mike Malone got fired, and I do not blame Jokic for one bit. And watch Jokic's reaction after losing to the Warriors when he had 33 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists on 72% field goal percentage. He is sick of it. Look at him. He's just fed up with the team, and it seems like he's fed up with everything right now. And I don't blame him. He's been doing every single thing for this team. He's been leading them in every category. He's pulling a 2007 LeBron James, but better. So, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys think Jokic is the reason Mike Malone got fired. But there's actually one more reason why I think Mike Malone could have got fired. Because 2 weeks ago, after a loss to the Portland Trailblazers, Mike Malone actually had to say this at a press conference. Listen to it, then I'm going to talk to you guys about it after.
It was a brutally honest message, and the guys that are fully won't hear it. They'll say coach is tripping. And the guys that maybe do really care will, because they're not going to go back and watch their minutes, because nobody watches their minutes. Nobody watches film. So we'll have to show them the film.
So this press conference is basically just Mike Malone shitting on his team. Obviously, these could be very valid reasons, but when you say this on a press conference that's going to be to the TV, to the whole world, I mean, it doesn't really help your chemistry with your team. So it could be the whole team collectively coming to the, owner saying, we don't want this guy as our head coach anymore, fire him. So it is very likely that is the reason the players told the owner to fire Mike Malone. And for some reason, something's telling me that Jokic was the main guy behind this, because Jokic just seems fed up with the team. He seems like he's doing everything he can out there on the court, and they're just still losing. So something's telling me that Jokic might be the reason behind this, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Jokic doesn't care. He just wants to go back to his horses. That is also very likely, knowing Jokic, because Jokic is pretty nonchalant. But, I don't know. If you ask me, I feel like Jokic is the main guy behind this. And something I know for sure is the Nuggets' chemistry as a team after that 4-game losing streak is down a lot. And, something that the Nuggets ownership released basically from NBA Central, the tweet said the Denver Nuggets ownership is hoping that the firings of Mike Malone and Calvin Booth will give the team a jolt to make a run in the playoffs. So maybe the chemistry was down. The ownership was noticing that, the players in the locker room were down. They were sad. They were annoyed with their head coach. And they're like, okay, we're going to fire these guys. We're going to clean house. Maybe it gives them the energy boost to, win some playoff games. Because normally when a head coach gets fired, it motivates the team a lot. And if we use the Sacramento Kings as an example, after Mike Brown got fired, they went on a little winning streak. So maybe the Nuggets are hoping, okay, we're going to fire our coach. Maybe the Nuggets can go on a little winning streak right around the playoff time. Who really knows exactly what the ownership's thinking, but I'm just hypothesizing there. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think Jokic is the reason why Mike Malone got fired, or do you think it's the ownership just by themselves making a surprise, random movement or random firing? I'm not really sure, but it could go either way. There could be another reason that we have no idea why Mike Malone got fired. Who really knows? But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Like the video, subscribe to all that stuff. But I'm interested in seeing your guys' thoughts on this, because at the end of the day, this is shocking news. So no one really expected this at all. So I'm interested what your guys' theories or whatever your hypothesis is or whatever you guys think in the comments are down below. So yeah, let me know down below. Like the video, subscribe like I just said, and we're out now.